podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live for the Smackdown recap. Man, the internet's going crazy. Woo! Man, that button. I've been saving that button all week. I mean, you know, it's what I said. It's the right call. Even if Cody dropped at Mania, I won't be mad. Because he took the title off of Drew. Randy's just not the match. It's not the money match. Obviously, the original plan was like a triple threat or fatal four-way. They pivoted. You know, they circled back to a story that they were telling a long time ago with Randy looking at the title. If Randy wins the title in 6 weeks, then, you know, it is what it is. But rest assured that it's going to run, Cody and Randy's going to run all the way from now until SummerSlam. I think the Sammy stuff, a lot of people were thinking Sammy was going to interfere tonight. And I've been talking about that on Scoops. It's just the beginning of this whole thing with Sammy on the finish the story shit. That's the part, the shit about Cody that I really don't like. The finish the story shit. But it's gonna be a year long. I mean, this shit with Sammy is gonna go all the way. I mean, it could be Cody Sammy next year in Saudi Arabia. I mean, Sammy could win the title from Cody. I mean, it's they circle back to so much shit. But yeah, the internet's not happy. You know, I'm getting blocked, getting unfollowed. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not the one that makes the calls. I told you guys what was gonna happen. You know, it's the right call. It was the right call. I mean, Drew's going to film a movie. Jacob, you know, interfered. Just like, I mean, it was just perfect. I mean, he didn't like put his hands on Drew, but it sets up Drew Jacob, Cody Randy. I mean, it is what it is. It's the bigger money match. What's going on, Raymond? I told him, GOAT. I told him. Yeah, I mean, just sets up WrestleMania. Like I said, you know, it sucked for Drew. I know he's got a big fan base. Try to be a little biased, but, you know, Cody Randy's got 15 years of story, so, you know, they got 6 weeks to really cook this up. Going to WrestleMania, I expect Randy's probably going to turn heel on Cody. Probably punk kick his ass and all that. And Randy will probably win the title. If he does, that's great. I won't be mad. You know, because what I said was going to happen. Triple H, thank God you did not fucking cave into all that movement shit on X like you did last time. Yeah, I mean, you know, people mad. It is what it is. You know, it feels like, I mean, I don't know. It's not like he's a Drew. Like, I could understand. I mean, I can understand it from like Drew fans, but there's a lot of Bloodline fans that are mad. But you know, it is what it is. 3-time champion Cody Rhodes. I guess you could say assist from Jacob Fatu, but I mean, he didn't really put his hands on Drew, but he did take the chair out of his hands, which that's enough. I mean, Aldis already promised that Jacob was going to get his hands on Drew, so it's Cody Randy, Drew Jacob. That's the match. Now the tickets, the night one main event set. Cody Rhodes defends the Undisputed Championship against the Viper, Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to try to get closer to John Cena's record, going for number 15. But hopefully he gets it. At the end of the day, like if they want to put the title on Cody 7, 8, 9 times, you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. Like I don't mean that in a rude way, but it is what it is. Like he's gonna keep getting the title back. Like it's just the way it is. I mean, Golden Boy was brought up probably 7 times. I told him about using that, but it is what it is. If Randy wins WrestleMania, I expect Cody to get it back at SummerSlam. And just that's just how it's gonna go. I want a Cody heel turn, but obviously he was cheered tonight. I was hoping that he might get booed. I think he gets booed at WrestleMania though. The fans are gonna be on Randy's side at WrestleMania. And maybe after Randy wins, maybe fucking Cody fucking snaps and goes. I don't know where they're going with it right now. I just don't really feel like they can turn Cody, even though he was like the way he talked to Sammy. Like I said, I do feel like that was just the start of a year-long build or something with Cody and Sammy. I mean, they're not going to run Cody Sammy at Backlash or some shit like that. Like, when you see Cody and Sammy, it's going to be for a world title. And Sammy may take the title off of him. I mean, that might be how Sammy wins his first championship. And that's okay, like, I was pretty pissed off. I ain't going to lie when Cody dropped to Cena, but, I didn't block people and all that. I'm not doing all that. It's professional wrestling at the end of the day. WWE's gonna do what's best for them money wise, and the money match is Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, I see all the Cody Hogans and all that, the Rhea Hogans, and it's just I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that. I mean, you guys' favorite is winning the title of WrestleMania, so I think that should be the focal point instead of worrying about a title that has no relevance at all. Drew's not even going to be around. Like, he's going to lose at WrestleMania to Jacob Fatu and be written off TV. Like, he's not even going to be around. So would you guys rather him just lost at WrestleMania? Like, he was losing either way it goes. So, but he lost tonight. Congratulations, Cody Rhodes, 3-time champion. I know he is. I know he is, Raymond. I mean, I said it, so, I mean, it was originally pitched for it to be like a triple threat or fucking fatal 4-way, but I'm glad they got away from it. Once Randy won the chamber, it was a pretty telltale sign from that point that we were going to get Cody Randy, which that, like I said it before tonight was even announced. I said, I don't understand why they circled all the way back around to this. At the end of the day, they could have just left the title on Cody and just had Randy beat him at WrestleMania instead of. But I mean, Drew did get his moment. He won the title overseas. He held the title for 60 days. Pretty similar to what Jey Uso did. So, Drew got to bring the title back to his home country. So, I know the Drew fans are pissed. X was going crazy. But it is what it is. He got his moment. He's got a great fan base, and I don't have anything against Drew personally, but I mean, when you got 15 years of story sitting right out there in front of you, you can't pass it up. I mean, a lot of people are probably not going to like tonight's episode because, I've been saying it all week, but, It's like that. It's like the button. My fingers are stuck on that button. It's been stuck on it all week. I'm so glad Triple H didn't mess it up. I mean, no, he didn't. I mean, he was the one that pivoted away from the triple threat, the fatal four way, that was originally planned. I don't know. One report said that this shit goes back to January. I don't believe that. I think this shit was like February-ish, maybe end of February-ish. Probably there was one report that I think it was about SAP or Body Slam. I don't know which one. It might have been both. That said like that Cody and Randy like just found out like maybe before Chamber or right after Chamber or something like that. I don't know, like maybe 5 days before Chamber or something like that. That I actually do believe. This being planned since fucking January, I don't believe that. Not for a second. I don't think that was the fucking plan. Since Drew won the title. I do believe what Sap reported though, that he did report that Cody dropped the title, so and I believe Body Slam, Corey Hayes and all them, they do a great job as well. I believe I believe both of them also reported that Cody dropped the title. WWE had Cody Rhodes drop the title so that they could have that extra star power, or whether you like him or you don't, he still sells tickets, still sells merch. People still love him. People still show up to see him. So he could be in the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber. So I don't know. That's what was reported about Sap, and Body Slam. So that's what they said, and I mean it sounds pretty true to me. So, but yeah, congratulations to Cody Rhodes. He's on his way to WrestleMania. He had to go through hell and high water to get there. Drew wouldn't keep his nose out of Cody's business. He cost him at the Rumble. He cost him at the Chamber. Nick Aldis stepped in and said enough was enough. I don't know. There were so many times tonight that I was like clenched up. I was like, oh my God, like he just put him to a table. Drew headbutted the fucking referee. I was like, man, this is crazy. Andrew Baydala tweeted out, I believe it was, about 30 minutes or right before the main event, and he actually picked Drew to retain. And then after Cody won, he said, "Oh, I'll be surprised if it's a 1-on-1. It's 100% 1-on-1. They're not adding nobody to this match. That would be absolutely just fucking dumb. Just absolutely dumb. Drew Jacob needs to be the match. Drew loses, gets written off TV, going to film. I don't know why Baydala picked Drew. Like he went against his own guy. Like him and Cypher buddies. Yeah, Cody's a champ. So it makes the most sense. It's going to sell tickets. Randy's probably going to get 15. We'll see. A lot of time in between now and then. I mean, everybody's already picking Randy. I'm going to say Randy probably wins, but I'm not rooting for him. I'm rooting for Cody, but if it prolongs the story or we can get a heel turn out of Cody out of it, then I'm all for Randy winning the title at WrestleMania. And Cody turning. I don't know if and when they're gonna pull the trigger on it. So, but let's get to the SmackDown. We are live. 15 minutes in. I'm not gonna talk about Cody the whole time, because it's late already, and I'm running on like 10, 11 12 straight days of streaming. And I'm sure that I'm going to be getting a lot of blocks, and I've been blocked by a couple people already tonight on X, which is just mind-boggling, but it is what it is. I saw somebody posted that said WWE buried Drew. He's going to film a movie. He's not buried. He's still fucking very high praise in the back. They love him. He's going to film. When he gets back, I'm sure he'll be right back in. I mean, he may be going after Roman's title at that point. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do with him when he gets back. But Drew's still, Yeah, I don't understand all that. It's okay. I mean, it is what it is. People are just mad. I mean, they have a right to be. I felt that way when Cody dropped to Cena, but Cena got 17, so it is what it's a professional wrestling. It's scripted, so it's not that serious. But I appreciate that, Raymond. Um, I mean, everything was pretty cut and dry, man. SmackDown really wasn't that great. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did see a tweet, and I'm gonna talk about this more on Sunday Scoops because I'm sure Sunday Scoops is gonna be crazy. Because I do have some almost 100% confirmed matches for WrestleMania for you guys Sunday. Um, they've really been teasing it. I did see Nia Jax posted about the celebration, or she quote tweeted Nikki and Brie Bella saying something about the celebration, and they said something about they should have showed up. It's not going to be just Charlotte and Alexa against Nia and Lash. The Bellas are going to be involved in that tag match. You can count on that. So we're still getting Dom. I'm gonna save all that for Scoops, but I got a pretty good idea of where we're headed. Also, it can be at least 12, maybe 14 matches. But I have a pretty good idea of where we're headed out for WrestleMania now. Yeah, it's gonna be a good card. But tonight's show wasn't great. The main for me, even though Cody won, like I think tonight was like I don't know. Three Stages of Hell was pretty good, but compared to like the rest of the matches, tonight's match was the best one. Um, they just the two referees got knocked out. No Sammy, I didn't expect Sammy. Um, they're playing the long game with that shit with Sammy. It's too soon for all that. Um, I did expect Jacob. I put a Jacob gif in the GC chat. I knew he was showing up. They had to set up Jacob Drew. So all right, so let's get started. Tonight's WWE SmackDown is from the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. It's supposed to be Elimination Chamber show. See former undisputed WWE champion, the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, going to defend his title against American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Plus, WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill and the Eradicator Rhea Ripley will meet face to face, which I got a lot to talk about that on Scoops coming up Sunday. How it was Jade is how she's viewed backstage. Obviously, at first I thought it was a work, but it's actually not. It's like people legitimately don't like Jade backstage. But they're going to use that as firepower to fuel this match. They have to. I mean, the fucking promo tonight was just awful. I mean, at this point, like they should have just stuck to the original plan. Well, the original plan was Jade Bianca, which I said that when I first started Scoops, but she's still. I don't know if you guys ever broke a knuckle. I haven't, but I have a lot of friends that are nurses, so when you break your knuckle, have surgery, it's a lot of complications. So don't know when when Bianca's coming back. I got a Kevin Owens update as well. I wouldn't expect to see Kevin Owens back before SummerSlam. He has began training, but he hasn't started taking bumps yet. So I know that'll probably be on Fightful tomorrow, but he's not coming back right now. But he's on the recovery. He's on the way back, but he hasn't started taking the bumps and the bruises, the bumps yet. But he's definitely on the way back. So I would expect him sometime before SummerSlam for sure. But he's training, so he's training to come back. But he hasn't gotten like to the point where he's like starting to take bumps. So it's going to be a little bit on that. All right. So There's also going to be a WWE Tag Team Championship #1 Contender Tag Team Turmoil match, which I'm going to talk about that. I don't think for one New York fucking second that it's going to be the MFTs against Priest and R-Truth at WrestleMania. I mean, maybe if it's a multi-man, the Wyatts are going to still be involved in that. So, WWE United States Open Challenge, Carmella Hayes, which that was fucking second best match of the night. Carmella's fucking killer. I love Carmella. I love what they're doing with the US title. Phenomenal. So I have some news on Carmella. I know a lot of people are reporting it's going to be a multi-man. I don't think it is. I don't. I think the teases that they've been doing the last couple of weeks, I really think it's just going to be a one-on-one with Dragunov at WrestleMania. So we'll see. They're not just going to have 5 or 6 multi-man matches. I mean, it would make sense to do like a ladder match, but they're really teasing the Dragunov Carmella thing. I think that's the route they go. I still think they do Trick Sammy. I still think they do Edward Brock. But I'll talk about all that on Scoops. But the Bella Twins did quote tweet Nia tonight, so I would expect to see them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not on Raw Monday. So, and they will be involved in that Raw Women's Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. They're not going to be left out. I honestly expect Bayley and Byron to probably be involved in that as well. Because I don't see either one of them winning that Fatal 4-Way Monday. I think it's going to be. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but it could be Ivy now. But if it's not, it's probably going to be Io. More than likely going to be Io. I think Asuka's going to end up fucking Io, costing her the match. Asuka Io is right now is the plan for WrestleMania. That's where we get Kyrie and Asuka. Kyrie joining back up with Io and finally getting sick of Asuka's shit. But we'll get to the WrestleMania matches on Scoop. I don't want to give away everything on this show. So, the 2026 Men's Elimination Chamber, the Viper, Randy Orton will open the show. And then there's Nia and the Irresistible Forces. Nia and Lash will have a championship celebration. Show opens up with a video package recapping this past weekend's Elimination Chamber. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett welcome us to the show as the the 2026 Men's Elimination Chamber winner. Randy Orton makes his way down to the ring. What's going on, Ben? Too glad to see you. Below the profile picture, it's goated. Rhea looked phenomenal tonight. Looking forward to the Rhea Jade match. The promo tonight was pretty bad. You could tell that WWE stepped in and was like, "Oh, I need you guys to shake hands. There's been too much stuff online." Yeah. So the crowd went crazy for Randy. They want him to get 15, and I feel like he probably will get 15. He just ain't gonna hold it for very long. Could be a SummerSlam, and then I'll go right back to Cody. So all that Cody haters are just, I don't know, until he retires, you guys are just, I guess, hold on to that hate. Randy says he starts off by welcoming everyone to SmackDown. Randy then says he got to the venue earlier today on time. Randy then says it was this morning and the WrestleMania sign was already up. Randy says he glanced at the sign throughout the day while he was doing his thing. Randy then says he is a numbers guy and he knows how many WrestleManias he has performed in. Randy then says there has been 20 of them. So Randy Orton, this is 42. And Randy has performed in 20 of 42. So 21 will be half. That's a lot. It's a lot of WrestleMania. I'm not sure who that is. Salt and Battery 777. Keep up the videos, brother. I appreciate it. Not sure who you are, but appreciate you. Cody coverage premium insurance to the rescue once again. It is what it is, guys. Try to tell you guys it's a money match. So, yep. Cody's champ again. So Randy said he'd been in 20 WrestleManias. I guess this will be number 21. He says that he's only main evented twice. So this will be the third time. Lucky third time for Randy. Main event night 1 against Cody Rhodes. Randy then says it goes to show it doesn't matter who you are or how much you have won or how many records you have. There's no guarantee you will go to WrestleMania. As you can see, last year he had like an impromptu match with Joe Hendry. So yeah. Randy then says, here we are. Randy then says he can say that he is going back to the main event of WrestleMania night 1. Randy then says he has never been the guy who says he is the best when he is in the ring. Randy then says he lets his peers do the talking, and a lot of them put him in that category. Randy then says men he admired going up like Ric Flair, The Undertaker, and Harley Race. Randy then says JBL would describe him as what you get when you build a wrestler from the ground up. I really hope that gets clipped tonight. But I agree. I've always been a big Randy Orton fan. I've always loved Randy Orton. That RKO is deadly. So hopefully that gets clipped. Randy says that JBL described him as what you get when you build a professional wrestler from the ground up. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I agree. I mean, like I said, if Randy gets 15 at Mania, I'm okay with it. If it's going to tell a longer story, because I do believe that this Cody Randy thing is going to go all the way to SummerSlam. It can main event it's going to main event one of the nights at SummerSlam too. So Randy will get one, I'm sure, and Cody will get one, and that's just the way it's going to be. Randy then says when he looks at the locker room, he sees the men he shares a locker room with, and it makes him proud to know he is still doing this after all that time. People still think that he is still at the top of his game and in the spot he is in. Randy then says this opportunity wasn't handed to him. He earned this son of a bitch. That's what he said. Randy then says when it comes to the main event of WrestleMania, he doesn't know who his opponent is going to be, but we will find out in a few hours. Randy then says he feels different about the two possibilities. Randy then says it could be Drew McIntyre or it could be Cody Rhodes. Randy then says it doesn't matter who it is. He is not leaving Las Vegas empty-handed. He will be leaving with that undisputed championship. Randy then says he's going into Vegas with a chip on his shoulder, and he is leaving with the WWE Championship around his waist. Randy then says he has plans to accomplish that one way. Randy then says the way he's going to accomplish that is the most dangerous 3 letters in professional wrestling and sports entertainment, and that is RKO. And then out comes Trick Williams. The lights go out, and Trick Williams comes out, and man, out of the people they brought up from NXT, Trick is. Oba got a really big chance tonight, and I'm gonna talk about that on Scoop. But they're definitely. I still think they're 100% still doing over Brock. I think they don't have anything creatively right now for Hobbs or Royce Keys. I'm sorry. I know that Oba's fighting Rusev Monday, but that's not a WrestleMania match, guys. Let's be fucking realistic here. That's not. Oba's been answering all these challenges. If it's not Oba and Brock, I guess it could be Seth, but I think that still they're not talking about him at all. I haven't got any word yet. I'm gonna ask before Sunday about Braun Breaker, but I still think, still holding out hope that it's Seth and Braun Breaker. Um, I don't what they do at LA Knight. I have no idea. He even said, like in a podcast, like he didn't know. So if he don't know, I damn sure don't know. I don't think it's the LA Knight Brock. I don't. I don't. I think it's Seth Brock or um Oba Brock, but I prefer Oba Brock honestly because I do believe Gunther's retiring Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So the lights go out. Trick Williams makes his way to the stage. Trick says he has finally arrived. Trick then says he has voices in his head too. Crowd was going crazy for Trick tonight. As always, Trick is super over it. Trick then says they are telling him that he has a bone to pick with him. Trick then says he should be in the main event of WrestleMania getting that title shot. Trick then says he has another problem with Randy. Trick then says you came out on Saturday and came to his chamber. Trick then says you stood on your tippy toes and said that he was not 6'5". That show was funny. Trick then says he is in Randy's ring and Randy wants to measure up. Trick then mentions his shoes and the lemon pepper steppers, like always, points down, but he just took his eyes off Randy Orton for just 1 second, and you cannot do that with the Viper. And Randy delivers a vicious RKO to Trick Williams. Then he goes down there and plays around with his shoes. So we got to the back. We take a look at Carmelo Hayes talking to Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis tells Carmelo he's doing a great job as champion. Nick then says he has been getting requests from all over the world, and he has one that is a tremendous one. Carmelo said, "Who is it?" And then he says, "Wait, never mind. I'll find out when I get to the ring." He says he will wait until he gets to the ring to find out. So Carmelo Hayes makes his way down to the ring for our first match of the night. It is a WWE United States Championship Open Challenge match. Carmelo Hayes versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. from AAA. He's a champion over there. I can't remember which champion he is in AAA, but he is a AAA champion. So the match starts off with Wagner hitting a drop kick and a cannonball. Wagner then kicks Hayes to the floor and hits a swanton off the apron. They return to the ring. Wagner gets a near fall. Wagner hits a slam and he goes up top. Wagner hits a missile drop kick for near fall. Wagner then goes for another slam, but Hayes escapes and hits a drop kick. Hayes then hits a kick. Wagner blocks the suplex. Hayes does the same. Hayes then gets an inside cradle for a near fall. Wagner then hits a kick to Hayes, but Hayes delivers some kicks to the back of Wagner's leg. Carmelo then puts Wagner on the ropes, and Hayes hits a springboard leg drop. Hayes then goes up top and hits a crossbody onto Wagner on the floor. Hayes then sends Wagner back into the ring and gets a near fall. So Wagner back in control, sends Carmelo into the air and face first into the mat. Wagner then hits a kick, gets a near fall. Wagner then delivers some chops and a snapmare, followed by a chop to the back of the head. Wagner then hits a back senton for a near fall. Carmelo back on the offense, then hits a kick to the leg and a springboard into a DDT for a near fall. Carmelo delivers a chop, but Wagner gets back in control, hits a shoulder in the corner, followed by a chop. They both go to the turnbuckles, and Carmelo hits a headbutt. Wagner then goes to the apron, and he headbutts Carmelo. Wagner then hits a superplex, and he gets a near fall. Both men then exchange forearms, and Wagner hits a headbutt. Hayes then hits a kick, and both men go down. Hayes then hits a springboard clothesline. Hayes then hits some chops, and then hits the La Mystica for a near fall. Hayes sets up for the first 48, but Wagner blocks it and hits a power bomb for a near fall. Wagner then removes the elbow pad to expose his arm. I guess I'm not too familiar with them, so I don't know what that was for. But Hayes delivers a kick. Wagner then hits a discus elbow, and Hayes hits a first 48 when Wagner comes off the turnbuckles. but he only got a count of 2. Carmelo then goes up for the top to finish off the match with nothing but net, but he misses. And then Carmelo rolls through, and Wagner hits a springboard knee in the corner and a power bomb for a near fall. Wagner then misses a moonsault, and Carmelo goes up top and hits nothing but net for the 1, 2, 3. And still your United States champion. He don't miss, Carmelo Hayes. After the match, Carmelo and Wagner shake hands. He gives him his title. Great match. And then immediately, just like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I really think they're running back Carmelo and Dragunov WrestleMania. We head to the back where Kathy Kelly is with the Mad Dragon, the Dragunov. Wheeler tells Kathy that he never wants to be other people and accept a title match if he keeps losing. Dragunov then tells Kathy that he learned from the greatest warrior he has ever known, his mother. Dragunov then says she sacrificed and carried the weight of the entire world on her shoulders. Dragunov then says when people call him warrior, it means a lot for him. Wheeler then says until he can become that warrior again, he will wait. Miz then shows up and says in his day, he was taught to always say yes. Miz then says Hayes offered him a title match, and Wheeler said no. And then we get Kit Wilson showing up. Kit Wilson then shows up, and he tells Dragunov that his masculinity is toxic. Wheeler then said fighting is always the answer, and he walks away. The Miz then tells Kit he's got this, and he walks away. So I don't know if next week we're getting Kit Wilson and Wheeler Dragunov. Kind of seems that way. They really didn't promote much for next week. Jade Cargill against Meechin. I'm guessing Wheeler Dragunov against Kit Wilson, and then we'll have the contract signing next week with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton on SmackDown. We then see Nick Aldis with Damian Priest. Damian Priest says he heard he has a match tonight, and R-Truth shows up. R-Truth tells Priest that he is in big trouble and that they're both in turmoil. Aldis then tells him that they're both in the tag team turmoil match. Priest then says winning tag team title sounds pretty good for him, and he thanks him. They then walk away, and at this point of the show, the undisputed champion Drew McIntyre shows up. Drew tells Nick Aldis now you have had a chance to calm down, to be reasonable. Drew then says he is the face of the brand, and they made an agreement when he won the title that there would be no rematch for Cody unless he wins the Rumble or the Chamber. Drew then told Aldis to make it right. Nick Aldis then tells Drew what is unreasonable is he telling him time after time that he was going to let things happen as they should. Nick Aldis then says Drew went back on his word, and he is going back on his. Nick Aldis then tells Drew to defend the title tonight unless he wants to forfeit the title. Drew then says it always feels like it's him against the world. Drew then says he beat Cody before, and he will do it again. Drew then says the only way Cody will take the title from him is by taking it from his cold, dead hands. And Nick Aldis told him to make sure to lace him up tight. So the next segment, we got the Irresistible Forces coming down to the ring for their WWE Women's Tag Team Celebration. Nia Jax and the Bougie Bully herself, Flash Legend, make their way down to the ring for their celebration. Nia tells everyone to soak it all in. Nia then says, get a good look at the 2 6-foot thoroughbred stallions. Nia then says they have the division on lock. Nia then says they're the 2 of the most dominant women in WWE. Nia then says they are generous champions, so all challengers are welcome, and it won't make any difference who it is. Flash and tells everyone in the back and in the locker room, this is your first, last, and only warning. They are here, and they aren't going anywhere. Flash and says it is only fitting for them to have a toast during Women's History Month. And Then out comes the queen herself, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They come out to interrupt. Alexa says she isn't happy with Nia. Alexa says she finally has a coattail to ride to the top. Alexa then says the only reason they lost the titles was because they cheated in their match against the Kabuki Warriors. Charlotte then says if they want challengers, they are looking at the next ones in her and Alexa. And then we get Julia and Kiana James out there. Like I said, it's going to be a multi-tag at WrestleMania. I believe it's going to be. I don't know, because I do think Julia may defend. Maybe Tiffany. I don't know if she's not doing the bodybuilding thing. I do think it's going to be a bunch of teams, though. So Julia and Kiana James make their way out. Kiana tells everyone to wait a minute. Kiana then says 2 weeks ago she was in a triple threat against Charlotte and Nia, and who won? It was her. Kiana then says who pinned Alexa in the Elimination Chamber? It was her. Kiana then says they plan to go to WrestleMania one way or another. Julia begins to speak in Japanese. She then says they are going to Vegas with the tag titles. Kiana then tells Charlotte and Alexa to do them a favor and step to the side, and out comes SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. He had a busy night. He comes out and he says, we don't determine title matches with debate, we do it with action. He then says Charlotte and Alexa will face Julia and Kiana James for referee to come on down. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship number one contender match. Like I said, there's going to be more teams added to this. So Kiana James and Julia going up against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Match starts off with Alexa hitting an arm drag to Julia. Charlotte then tags in and she sends Alexa into Julia. Kiana gets a hot tag. Charlotte hits a shoulder tackle and applies a waist lock. Kiana then hits an elbow. Flair then reverses and Flair does the Ric Flair flip over the top, and she kicks Kiana and Julia. Flair then hits a cannonball off the apron onto Julia and Kiana. Kiana then sends Flair into the ring post and back into the ring. Kiana then gets a near fall. Kiana then kicks Charlotte and hits an elbow drop for another close near fall. Kiana then sends Charlotte Flair into the turnbuckle and gets a tag into Julia. Julia then hits a snap mare and a drop kick to the back. She goes for another pinfall for count of two. Kiana then gets another tag in and hits some shoulders in the corner. Kiana then hits a back handspring and a running shoulder into the corner. Kiana then goes for a moonsault, but Charlotte Flair gets her knees up. Charlotte then hits a chop, and Kiana delivers a kick. Both women then fall to the mat. Julia and Alexa both then tag in. Alexa hits some shoulder tackles and a drop kick to Julia. Alexa then hits some strikes and a knee, followed by a drop kick. Alexa then hits a flip senton for a near fall. Julia then hits a sunset flip, but Alexa rolls through and hits a drop kick. Alexa then kicks Julia to the floor. Alexa then hits a crossbody, but Kiana catches Alexa and she throws her across the apron. Then Julia delivers a kick. Both women then return to the ring, and Julia gets a near fall. And then she tagged in. Kiana James is tagged back in, and she begins to work on the back. Kiana delivers some punches. Kiana then chokes Alexa in the ropes. Kiana knocks Charlotte Flair off the apron, and the referee has to stop Charlotte from trying to get into the ring. Kiana then delivers another kick to Alexa in the corner. Kiana then hits some knees to stop Alexa, and she sends Alexa into the turnbuckles. Julia then begins to stretch Alexa, like one has some stretch in the ropes. Julia hits a drop kick, and she gets a near fall. Julia then hits a kick, and Alexa avoids a shoulder in the corner from Kiana. She then kicks Julia, and Kiana stops Alexa from making the tag. They cut the ring in half. Kiana misses an elbow drop, but Charlotte Flair is tagged back in and hits a crossbody on both opponents, followed by chops. Charlotte then hits a walkover clothesline Charlotte then catches Julia and hits a fall-away slam to send Julia next to Kiana. Flair then goes up top for a moonsault, beautiful moonsault, and she hits it on both women. And she goes for the pinfall on Kiana, but Kiana kicks out. But Flair then, once Kiana gets back up, Charlotte then runs into a boot from Kiana. Julia gets the hot tag, and Flair kicks Kiana. Julia then hits a kick to Flair and a belly to back suplex for near fall. Julia then goes for a Northern Lights bomb, but Flair escapes and hits a German suplex. Flair then kicks Kiana, and Alexa gets a tag in, or she just comes in, I think, and hits a tornado DDT on Kiana. And then Flair, Alexa was never tagged in. She just comes in and hits a tornado DDT on Kiana James. And then Charlotte Flair delivers the natural selection for the 1, 2, 3 to Julia. So Charlotte Flair pinned the Women's United States Champion. Winners and new number one contenders as of now. There'll be more teams added for the Women's WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The Queen, Charlotte Flair, and the Goddess, Alexa Bliss. So then we get a video package in the back where we see that Jelly Roll will be on SmackDown next week. Jelly Roll commented on Randy Orton's winning Elimination Chamber, and he said he will be at SmackDown next week. He said, congratulations to Randy, and he also said he doesn't like Drew McIntyre and told Cody to go win it. So then we go to the back, and this was kind of what I was talking about earlier with the Cody, Sammy, whole heel situation. I think both of them, the way they talked in the promo, both sounded very heelish, but we then see Kathy Kelly stop to talk to Cody Rhodes, and she asks about his match. Cody says he wants to point at that damn sign. I saw SmackDown and Rhea clock JT. I was shocked. Yeah, she did. I'm hoping they do a lot more. I mean, it was a good start, but with everything that's been going on online, I think they kind of tampered them down. Cody then says he hopes that the next time, I'm sorry, I'm way ahead. Cody then says the only thing that remains is Drew McIntyre. Cody then says he hopes that the next time they speak, Kathy will be talking to the new undisputed champion. And then we get Sami Zayn walking up, and he said things have been dicey between them over the last few weeks. Sami then says he isn't trying to get inside Cody's head before this big match. Sami then says it is crazy this match is happening. Cody then says he wants to know what is crazy, but he raised his voice. Sami then says Cody beat him, and he will let the way Cody won go. Sami then says Cody lost the Elimination Chamber though, but he's getting another chance. Sami then says he isn't getting a second chance. Cody then says Sami sounds like he is politicking for a title match. Sami then asks Cody if he is trying to be self-serving to snake his way into a title match. Cody then says he doesn't know, and he asks Sami to tell him. They were very loud with each other. And then Sami kind of calmed down, and then, like he'd been doing to Jacob and to Cody, he then says he came here to say good luck, and it turned into all of this. Sami then says he is rooting for Cody. He says go out there and win that undisputed title again. Sami then tells Cody to do what he does best and become champion. And then Cody walks off, and again, Sami Zayn goes on his temper tantrum and slings the water bottles everywhere. Sami's really going through it. So we're going to get, the next match is going to be WWE Tag Team Championship, Men's Tag Team Championship, number one contender Tag Team Turmoil match. It's going to start off with Praxium and the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Wild Six, Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy versus Los Garza, Angel Humberto versus R-Truth and Damian Priest. Not going to go through this entire match. It's going to tell you who pinned who in this. I mean, it was a decent match. I was happy with the outcome, but I do believe that Wild Six are going to be back involved. So Axiom makes the tag. They had a missile drop kick for the combination for the 3 count, even though Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin's foot was on the rope. Referee didn't see it, so the Motor City Machine Guns have been eliminated. So it's Fraxium going up against Los Garza. And then Angel hits a superplex, and they hit the MTY for the 3 count. So Los Garza defeats Fraxium, and the White Six make their way down to the ring. This is where it gets interesting. So it's the White Six and Los Garza. They went for a little while. Gacy hits a super kick to Angel, but Tonga Loa comes from out of nowhere and pulls Gacy to the floor. The extra limits is distracted by Talatonga, and Berto gets the roll up 1, 2, 3. So they have advanced on Tongaloa, Talatonga, and Gacy and extra limits and fight all the way to the back. Like I said, 5, 6 are going to be added. So then the last team to come out, Damian Priest and R-Truth, make their way down to the ring. Priest is spinning heel kicks to both men. He hits the elbow into the corner. Let's get to the end of this match. Like I said, it wasn't a whole lot going on there. Berto then hits a moonsault for a near fall. Damian Priest then hits a broken arrow, and Truth tagged in. Truth then hits a second shoulder tackle, followed by a blue thunder bomb. I think the ending was great. So Priest then tagged in. He kicks Angel from the apron. Damian Priest and R-Truth then they both attack Angel and Berto's ears. R-Truth then hits John Cena's attitude adjustment, and Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven for a double pin and the win. So the new number 1 contenders as of right now with the men's SmackDown Tag Team Championship is R-Truth and Damian Priest. So we get another Sami Zayn promo. We then see Randy Orton walking in the back, and Sami stops him to tell him that he is proud of what Randy said. Sami then asks Randy about the Elimination Chamber match, and he asks Randy how does he do this. He then says, you talk about Cody like your best friend, but you drop him when he turns his back. Like I said, this is going to be a long story with Sami. Randy then tells Sami that sometimes you got to be selfish. Sami then asks if that makes you a bad person. Randy then says it makes him a 14-time World Heavyweight Champion. Sami then wishes Randy luck at WrestleMania. Randy then tells Sami he believes in him, and Sami has to believe in himself. He says he can see Sami winning that World Heavyweight Championship at some point. He then told Sami sometimes you just have to listen to the voices in your head. And then out of nowhere, Aleister Black and Zelina stop by to tell Sami it is just the nature of the beast. So then the next segment is going to be number 1 contender for the Women's SmackDown Champion, Rhea Ripley, makes her way down to the ring. Rhea starts off by saying she said she was going to be here, and she is here. Rhea then tells Jade Cargill, since she appears to have a lot to say, why not come out and say it to her face? Jade Cargill then makes her way down to the ring. Jade then enters the ring and offers her hand, and Rhea shakes it. Yeah, I have no idea what that's about. I don't know why they shook hands. I know why, but it's because of all the shit that went on online. Jade then says she gave her a handshake because she respects Rhea. Jade then says she respects all of her accomplishments and how people love her. Jade then says she respects that she is facing her at WrestleMania. Jade then says she respects the work that Rhea puts in the gym. Jade then says, but she is not impressed. Jade then says your arms are big, but hers are bigger. Jade then said your legs are muscular and powerful, but hers are more powerful. Jade then says she is more worthy of the WWE Women's Champion. Jade then says she will beat the hell out of Rhea. Jade then says she's that bitch and dropped her mic. Rhea then offers her hand to Jade, and Jade shakes it. Rhea then tells Jade she respects her honesty. And there goes my phone again. I don't know why my phone does this all the time. It just like has a mind of its own. Sorry about that, guys. I definitely need to get a new phone. This is a thing of a piece of crap. I have a ton of notes. Alright, still trying to get to the Rhea J stuff. Rhea was about to talk. Alright. Rhea says she knows what Jade thinks about her and she might not impress her physically. She might not impress Jade physically. Rhea then says Jade does impress her physically. Rhea then says Jade's shoulders might be bigger than hers. Rhea then says maybe your arms are too. Rhea then says maybe your legs are also. Rhea then says maybe your hand is too. Rhea then says, but if you hit her with your best shot, do you think she will go down and stay down? Rhea then laughs and says, no. Rhea then says if she hits Jade with hers, there is no way she is getting back up. Rhea then says the difference between you and me is that your body is built for show. Rhea says hers is built for fighting. Rhea then says you work out so you're more aesthetically pleasing. Rhea then says she works out to survive and thrive in this business. Rhea then says you can flex all you want because she is going to fight. Rhea then says she will take that title and she will take it with force. Rhea then says there's not a damn thing you can do about it because she's that bitch. Rhea then drops the mic. So yeah, that was a good start. Hopefully they pick it up more. Still got 6 weeks, so. We then see Johnny Gargano on the crate. So sick of this, and Alex Shelley asks Candace what is wrong with him. Chris Sabin shows up, and he wants to know why the first thing Alex did since they lost is to talk to Johnny. Alex and Sabin then discuss how they got eliminated. Candace LeRae then tells Johnny he cannot continue to do this. She then says he has to be Johnny wrestling again. Johnny then just sits up out of nowhere, and he says, Candace, you know what? You're right. He says, I'm going to the ring. Then we get the flickering, and we see Uncle Howdy interrupt, and he tells Solo Sikoa that he puts his family members in compromising situations without understanding the consequences. He then says you have something that does not belong to you, and he will not sleep until he gets it back. He then says your family will look over his shoulders and run. So then we go back to the ring. Johnny Gargano is inside the ring, and he said he is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he hates pretending he is not. Johnny then says he wants everyone to remember who he is, and it's time for him to remember who he is, and that's Johnny Wrestling. Johnny says he needs to be Johnny Wrestling again, and that starts tonight. Johnny then says he is making an open invitation to anyone in the locker room to come to the ring. And out comes the ruler himself, Obafemi. Makes his way down to the ring. Very quick work. Match starts off with Oba catching Johnny. Johnny does apply a chop. Doesn't phase Oba much. Oba hits a running uppercut to the corner, followed by 4 more. Oba then hits a toss power bomb. And then hits his finisher for the 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Obafemi, another squash match. We gotta have Oba Brock. So the winner of the match was Obafemi, and Candace LeRae. All she could do is shake her head outside. But at least Johnny off the crate. So we then head to the back where Meechin stops Jade Cargill and asks her if she forgot. Jay then asks, why did she let Rhea get to the front of the line? Jay then, Meechin says, because she earned it. She says she will get the title whenever she can. Jay then tells Meechin that she will face her next week. So it is official next week. Jade Cargill and Meechin will go one-on-one. So we then see Nick Aldis again walking in the backstage area, and he is stopped by Danhausen. Danhausen then shows Nick a piece of paper asking him to be in the Hall of Fame and wanting a mentor. Aldis then says it is not his job for that. Aldis said, but he sees somebody walking up, and he said, but I got the perfect person for you. And he walks up to the Miz. He then shakes his hand, and Miz tells him he is trying to help superstars. Aldis then thanks Miz for that, and he tells him he has someone for him to mentor. He then says that he is a brand new WWE superstar, and Danhausen shows up. He then extends his hand to shake, and Miz tells Aldis he needs someone he can mentor, someone to teach him how to master, inspire, and zone in. Aldis walks away. Miz then tells Danhausen he won't mentor him, and Danhausen tells him if he doesn't, he will be cursed, and to remember what happened to Dirty Dom on Monday. Miz then turned around, and Danhausen is nowhere to be found, so it looks like the Miz could be cursed as well. So it is announced that next week, Jade Cargill faces Meechin in a non-title match next week. Jelly Roll will be on SmackDown, and we will have the contract signing for the undisputed WWE title match between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. We then get this huge long video package for Cody Rhodes with Drew McIntyre. So we're set for the main event, commercial free, for the Undisputed Championship. Cody's last shot to make it to WrestleMania. Cody makes his way down to the ring, followed by Drew McIntyre. Match starts off with Drew going to the floor, walking up the aisle. Cody chases behind him, catches Drew, sends him into the video board. Cody then delivers some punches. He sends Drew over the ringside barrier. Cody then brings Drew back into the ringside area and delivers some more punches to Drew. Cody then sends Drew back into the ring, and Drew hits a double thrust to the throat. Drew then hits a chop. Cody Rhodes then hits a kick and a drop down punch. Cody then hits a beautiful disaster and then delivers some more punches in the corner. Drew McIntyre then hits an Irish whip. Cody tries to float over, but Drew hits a big boot to the chest. Drew then hits an overhead belly-to-belly suplex, then hits another one, and Cody rolls to the floor. Drew follows him out to the floor, and Cody blocks it, being sent into the ring step, and Cody sends Drew into the ring steps. Cody then goes for a suicide dive, but Drew hits him with a forearm to stop him. Drew then sends Cody into the ring step and heads back into the ring post. Drew then hits a side slam onto the apron. Cody Rhodes then hits some punches, but Drew hits a back elbow for a near fall. Drew then kicks Cody in the back. Drew hits a deadlift suplex for a near fall and applies an armbar. Cody then fires back with some punches, but Drew hits a kick and delivers a chop. Cody avoids a belly-to-back suplex, and Cody delivers some punches to Drew. Drew fires back, and then Cody fires back with a running forearm. Cody then hits a power slam. Cody then hits a Cody cutter. A running Cody cutter off the ropes. Cody then sets up for off the rope Cody cutter. Cody sets up for the crossroads, but Drew escapes and slides out to the floor. Drew then pulls Cody's arm into the ring post a few times and kicks Cody in the arm, and he wraps his arm in the ropes. Drew then hits a back body drop and goes down for a near fall and applies a double wrist lock. So he's beginning to work on Cody's left arm and wrist. Cody fires back with some punches to get out of the hold. Drew then hits a double knee and a stomps on the elbow. Drew kicks Cody's arm, and then Drew stops and points to the WrestleMania sign. He goes to the turnbuckle. Cody then hits a forearm to stop Drew. Cody then punches Drew, and he sets up for a superplex, and he hits it. Drew then hits a punch, and Cody punches back. Cody then hits a single leg takedown, and he applies a bigger 4-leg lock, signature to Ric Flair. Drew then gets to the rope to force a break, but he releases the hold on the ropes. Drew is then able to escape the hold. Drew then has trouble getting to his feet when he gets to the floor. Cody then hits a suicide dive to Drew McIntyre. Cody then removes the hood from the announce desk, and he clears it off. Cody then sends Drew onto the announce desk, and he sets up for the crossroads on the table. But Drew blocks it, hits a punch, and the table collapses as both men collapse, but Cody took the worst of it. Drew then reaches under the ring, and so does Cody. Cody then gets the table, and Drew hits Cody from behind to stop him. But then Drew goes to the other side of the ring and sets up a table on the floor, and he begins to rake and poke Cody Rhodes' eyes. Drew then hits a massive powerbomb through the table on Cody Rhodes. Drew then rolls Cody back into the ring, and Drew sets up for his version of a crossroad, which it looked absolutely awful. Both of them tried each other's finishers, and then they look bad. They don't need to, either one of them need to do that again. Cody kicked out. Drew then gets back to his feet, and he counts down the Claymore, but Cody hits a kick and hits a Claymore for Claymore of his own to Drew for a near fall. Didn't look good either. Cody goes up top, and he leaps over Drew. Drew then swings Cody around, and he almost hits the referee. Drew then stops short of the referee in the corner. Drew then hits an elbow. Drew then pulls the referee in the way of the Cody cutter coming off the rope, and Cody ends up. Drew then goes for a future shot, but Cody escapes. Drew then hits a back body drop. Cody then hits a boot and a punch. Cody then hits a crossroads, but the referee is still out, and he calls for another referee to come out. Referee Dan Engler makes his way down to the ring, but when Cody turns around, he catches the Claymore from Drew McIntyre, but Cody Rhodes kicks out. Drew already has a history with Dan Engler. Drew then looks at Dan, and he's the new referee, and Drew backs him into the corner. Drew then sends Cody shoulder first into the ring post. Drew then sends Cody into the ring post a second time. Drew then does not appreciate the way the referee is talking to him, so Drew headbutts Dan Engler, and he is out. Drew then goes to the floor and gets a steel chair. Drew then begins to bring the steel chair into the ring, and he prepares to hit Cody Rhodes with it. But the fans start going crazy, and out from behind Drew McIntyre comes the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, who takes the chair from Drew McIntyre. Cody then gets a roll-up for a near fall. Drew McIntyre then hits a future shock, and he sets up for a Claymore. Drew then misses, and Cody sets up for the double jump Cody cutter, and he hits it. And then Cody Rhodes delivers the crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match and heading to WrestleMania main event night 1, the new undisputed WWE champion. It's like my finger's stuck on that button. New undisputed WWE champion for the third time, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. After the match, Cody points to the WrestleMania sign, but the pyro goes off, and he celebrates and stands tall as the show comes to a close. So overall, SmackDown really wasn't that great, honestly. You know, 2 good matches with Cody and Drew, and Carmelo, and the guy from AAA. The Rhea Jade feud. Hopefully they can amp it up more. But I don't know. Love the ending though. So ready to see what Cody and Randy can do over the next 6 weeks to build this feud, which is going to go all the way from now until August or September, which I think September is when SummerSlam is. But yeah, that's it, guys. Cody Rhodes is your new undisputed champion, and we'll move on to next week. So on next week, I forgot to mention next week, Jay Cargill goes one-on-one with Meechin in a non-title match. Jelly Roll will appear, and we will have a contract signing where Randy Orton goes one-on-one with, well, not one-on-one, but Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes will sign the contract for the undisputed title match at WrestleMania. I thought Rio was about to fight Jade. Yeah, they don't like each other at all. There's a lot of backstage turmoil going on with them too. But yeah, it's going to be a contract sign, so interesting to see how they're going to kick off this feud. Obviously, they have 15 years of history, so I'm looking forward to what they can provide. They're not going to be able to match Roman and Punk, but they need to try to get as close as they can to it. This build needs to be able to do what they set out to do, and that's to sell tickets. But that's it, guys, for the SmackDown recap. I went over a little bit, but shout out to Raymond, always here. Appreciate the support. Shout out to Bentu. Shout out to Assault and Battery. That's a pretty wild name, brother. At 93 Octane 67. Shout out to Bentu. Thank you guys for showing up. Also, shout out to everyone from DWE. Yeah, Drew's going to be mad, but he's getting written off TV after Mania anyway. He's going to film. So, it was for the best. Cody Rhodes is your new undisputed champion and will move on to WrestleMania to face Randy Orton, who will be going for number 15. Looking forward to it. WrestleMania is shaping up. Now, got Liv Morgan, Stephanie Valcourt, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns and CM Punk are the 4 matches so far that are official for WrestleMania. So shout out to everybody from DWE. Make sure you tune in to DWE Radio tomorrow. I'm not sure the time. I have to go back on X and look. I'm sure that the CEO and the head of the table, Miami and Final Boss, will be breaking down everything that went down on Raw and what happened tonight with Cody Rhodes winning the title, which was pretty much expected. Everybody reported it, and they didn't pivot for once. So, shout out to both of them, the Unseen Blinghausen of DW Podcast, one half of Talk It Up Podcast, and also one half of DW Radio. Make sure you give Talk It Up Podcast a follow, Miami and Unseen Blinghausen, follow on X, and Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast, a subscription on YouTube, and also After the Slam podcast as well on X and YouTube. Shout out to everyone from Gimmick Table Media. It's a whole ton of them. But shout out to everyone from Gimmick Table as well. All right, guys, I'm going to go to the outro, and I'll be back to tell you where you can find me on my socials and what I have coming up for the rest of this weekend and next week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, guys, it's late here on the East Coast. It's almost 1 a.m. I have to be up early. Big day tomorrow. Tomorrow is NXT Vengeance Day, so looking forward to that. 5 great matches on the card. If you guys seen, we had an NXT Vengeance Day prediction show this week, earlier on Wednesday this week. So looking forward to watching Vengeance Day tomorrow, and I'll be back to recap it when Vengeance Day goes off. So as far as my socials, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen in the blue. All my links are in my bio, but follow me on X at EVPCJP. Instagram, same handle at EVPCJP. You can find me on TikTok at Brady, BRADY, DA Goat 21, at Brady the Goat 21, not THE, DA, at Brady the Goat 21. Last but not least, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Last time I checked, I was 2 subscribers away from 200. Once I got to 200, I said I would do a little small giveaway. I might have lost a couple subscribers tonight from the Cody stuff, but it is what it is, I guess. If people want to unsubscribe, then I can't help that. I don't make the calls, on the matches. So, but yeah, if you guys watch the stream tonight, or if you're not subscribed, make sure you go to that search bar, and all you have to do is type in at the EVP show, and you'll see tons of content, tons of lives, shorts, one pre-recorded video from Unreal last year. One other announcement before I tell you what I have going on. Starting April the 26th, there will be a new show added to the EVP show channel. I will start on April 26th on Sunday nights. On Sunday, I'll be having 2 shows. Starting Sunday, April 26th, I will be covering season 3 of LFG. And then, once again, I'll say it again as I said last night, I will be doing the NXT Stand and Deliver prediction show, which is 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So get with me in DMs. And I'll also put a tweet out on X. Let me know if you're in for the NXT Stand and Deliver prediction show. And I will do a recap for Stand and Deliver as well. But for WrestleMania, I'm not going to do a night 1 and a night 2 separately for the prediction show. It's going to be one big prediction show for night 1 and night 2, where we will be predicting all the matches for WrestleMania. So if you want to get signed up to come on to the EVP show to predict the WrestleMania matches, I will also make a post about that as well. And then I will be doing a night 1 and a night 2 recap show for nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. So those are the new announcements. But yeah, make sure if you guys go back and watch this video, if you're a Cody fan, I'm sure I'm not gonna get many likes if you're not. But just hit that like button on the stream. The comments are always warranted and appreciated, because it helps put my stream in the algorithm and puts my channel out to fresh new eyes and ears. So drop that like, hit that notification bell so you guys know when I'm going live. So what I have coming up next for you guys for the rest of this week and next week, tomorrow I'm back at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right after NXT Vengeance Day goes off, for the NXT Vengeance Day recap show. So you guys hit that notification bell and join me tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Vengeance Day recap show. And then Sunday, I'm sure it's going to be a packed house in here. At 6 p.m. Eastern, join me live for episode 10 of Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. I will open up Q&A for 45 minutes this Sunday, because I know it's going to be a lot of questions about WrestleMania. Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, episode 10 of Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. Hit that notification bell and reminder for that. Then I'm back Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap. I'm back Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT recap. And then Wednesday will be my first day not streaming in 16 days. I will be off. I will not be streaming. And then you can catch me back Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your TNA recap. And then I will be back next Friday again at the same time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your SmackDown recap on the road to WrestleMania. And then next Saturday, I'm off as well. But then next Sunday, you can tune in again at 6 p.m. Eastern for episode 11 for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP episode 11 next Sunday. That is my schedule for the rest of this week and next week. You can also catch me on the Wrestling Divas podcast on Sunday or Tuesday, March 31st, I believe it is. At 6 p.m. Eastern. So you make sure you guys give them a subscription on YouTube and check me out on the Wrestling Divas podcast. I'll be on, it's either March 30th or March 31st. So I would go back and look at the messages. It's the last Tuesday in March at 6 p.m. Eastern. But that's it, guys. Shout out to everybody that came in tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT Vengeance Day recap. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the Golden Boy, which was mentioned 4 times on SmackDown tonight, of DWE. DWE is the place to be. You guys enjoy your Saturday, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for that NXT Vengeance Day recap. Good night, everyone.